Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we will be local nursery plant shopping at Pitas Planters in Dallas, Texas. This is right off of Garland Road. This is an awesome little plant shop that I recently discovered, and I happened to get in touch with the owners, Lupita and her husband, David, and I was so thankful that they allowed me to film this video, knowing that they are actually closed on Tuesday. As always, please make sure you are hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel for daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. I also follow me on Instagram at GrowFolds, but today is a very special day just because I love to feature small businesses, local businesses. I always think that we should always support local businesses. I know the majority of my content is big box or plant shopping, but I did want to highlight Pitas Planters because the owner is very inspiring. She is an entrepreneur that started this business back in 2019, mainly doing plant shop pop-ups all over Dallas, and then they had the idea of actually creating a mobile shop during the pandemic, right after the quarantine. And just recently they opened this brick and mortar store back in November 2023, and it's super exciting that I finally made it to this plant shop. It is a bit of a drive from North Dallas, which is where I'm based at. So my plant foldies, and if you're new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. I really hope you enjoy this segment where I'm just going to feature some of these plants. They mentioned that this is a small space, but truthfully, when I just walked in here, look at how maximized the space is in terms of the amount of plants that Pitas Planters has. I am super excited to be able to see it. There is just a variety of different plants. You can see right off the bat, they've got a gorgeous looking anthurium. And what's really interesting is I just like the concept of this plant. It's a very warm, cozy, crafty plant shop that's really just welcoming. Lupita, who is the owner of this plant shop, mentioned that she's a really big advocate when it comes to just mental health, and I really truly appreciate that. I just feel like most of us who get into plants find plants as therapy, and she even mentioned that right after college she had some panic attacks, and she found that plants really helped her cope with that and really just brought joy. And I'm so excited because it's the same thing as me. I've always loved plants. Even as a child, my grandmother showed it to me and just taught me so many plant care. But as far as just how plants really serve my life, it's an awesome way to really just get that plant therapy. I think plants bring people happiness, and it's just so exciting that someone like Lupita and her husband were able to create a brick and mortar shop just from the love and interest of plants. So as you can see, plant foldies, we've got several plants. I'm just panning over here and showing you, and you can see this beautiful Monstera aurea. This is one of my plants and actually a dream plant of mine. I love the fact that they have a mixture of really rare plants, common plants, easy to care for plants, different sizes of plants, and I'm just excited to finally see a Monstera aurea available here. They are priced well, so if you ever go plant shopping at Lupita's Planters, you'll notice that the plant pricing is affordable, and look at how healthy these roots are. I'm just going to take this over here and show you all that variegation. Now with Monstera aurea, you want to make sure that you are giving it a lot of bright indirect light. Sometimes the variegation isn't stable, especially for like Monstera albo, Monstera aurea. And the thing about Monstera aurea is you have to be a little bit careful in terms of the amount of light you provide it. It tends to burn or actually crisp up, especially the variegation. But if you actually use this silicone solution that you can buy on Amazon called Protect, it actually makes the cells of the plant be a little bit more durable and it won't actually burn. So I've used that before, and it's something that I would suggest. And then right off here we actually have one of my favorite plants. This is a Philodendron Summer Glory. So what I love about the Philodendron Summer Glory is, number one, it is easy to grow, and then you can see right over here at Lupita's Planters or Pitas Planters, this Philodendron Summer Glory is priced well, as it's for $25. Really like the look of this one, and I just like to have the bronze leaves really shine, and I love that natural lighting that this particular local plant shop has. You really have to see the plant shop in person. Like, my video is really not going to do its justice, because being able to spend an hour and just to be able to freely look at these plants, it was just amazing. And I hope that you guys will enjoy this segment of this video. As always, please make sure you guys are supporting local plant nurseries. If you ever visit the Dallas-Fort Worth area, definitely check out Pitas Planters. You will definitely be excited to see it, especially after this video. Here is a gorgeous Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos. So lemon meringue pothos is an absolutely stunning pothos. I always recommend pothos plants for anybody that's starting indoor house plants, because they're easy to grow indoors. Their care tips are very easy, just bright indirect light. They can tolerate lower light conditions. Specifically with Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue, this particular pothos does need to have a little bit more bright indirect light in order for it to really have the best variegation. Notice how their lemon meringue pothos right here, super full and lush, and it's got some good yellow variegation. That's the variegation you're looking for. It is a bit of a slower growing plant. They're selling it for $22, which is a good price for this pothos, especially when you're looking at just the variegation and quality of the plant. It's super full, and they have it right in front of the window, so it's getting some optimal light. And then obviously a Dracaena right over here. Love Dracaenas. I always say this in all my videos. It is an underrated plant. I really think that people should get into Dracaenas because they're so easy to care for, and they can actually get very large sizes as well. Here is a classic golden pothos right over here in a hanging basket. Love the look of a golden pothos. Now with golden pothos, that is another plant I would recommend. And then you can see they've got some more Dracaena warneckii right over here. This is actually the Malaika Dracaena. Sometimes this is only for $14. Really good price as well for this beautiful Dracaena. Proven Winners actually calls this an urban urchin. What I like about this specific Dracaena is you can see that there's a lot of different colors happening with it. You've got a mint green color, a white stripe, dark green, lime green. It's got a lot going on. It's actually one of my favorite Dracaena warneckii, and that is another easy to care for plant for $14. And then I'm going to pull this out right over here. One of my favorite plants. This is an Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu blue pothos. So I love looking at Cebu blue pothos because my home country, where my family is from, is the Philippines. So I'm a proud Filipino here. And what I will say about Epipremnum pinnatum, especially Cebu blue, it is endemic to the Philippines. It's actually endemic to the Cebu island. So that's why they are called the Cebu blue pothos. What I like about this plant is it's very versatile. It can grow up a pole or a trellis, which is actually the natural way to grow this plant, because they'll go up trees and it will actually get large leaves and even fenestrate, or you can grow it in a hanging basket and let it trail. And then over here, we've got another philodendron. This is a philodendron sun red. Love philodendron sun red. And let's see how much the price is. This is only for $18. So that is still within the range of most big box stores and even plants. Actually, Proven Winners, whenever you try to buy this philodendron sun red at like a Home Depot where Proven Winners sells it, it's actually for $19 or even more. So Pitas Planters actually has them a little bit more cost effective. And here is an Epipremnum aureum Marble Queen pothos. Now with Marble Queen pothos, it is a common plant, but I would say again, there is a reason why we have common plants, and that's because their plant care is easy. And who doesn't like easy to care for plants? Right over here, we also have a beautiful Philodendron gloriosum. So I love Philodendron gloriosum. The only thing about Philodendron gloriosum, and this is only for $16, that is not a bad price at all for Philodendron gloriosum, is that they can be a little bit spider mite prone. So you have to watch out for the more velvety type plants. They are a little bit more spider mite prone, but with Philodendron gloriosum, like most philodendron, you just need to give it a lot of bright indirect light. I would say for watering, you want to wait till about their soil's about 50% dry, and then you can water them. Here's a Philodendron hederaceum lemon lime. Now with the Philodendron hederaceum lemon lime, you want to try to give it a lot of bright indirect light in order for it to really get that yellow variegation or that yellow coloration. It's another easy to care for plant, another plant I would recommend. And even just looking at all of the plants that they have up front, like you can see here again, another Epipremnum aureum Marble Queen pothos. If you want to start with an easy to care for plant, this one is for $12. $12, and that is not a bad price at all. This one actually has some really good variegation. To really promote that cream variegation, you want to provide it a lot of light. With Epipremnum aureum, Marble Queen, it can revert to more green if you don't give it enough light. So just make sure that you do it. Like this one right here is a little bit more green, but needless to say, it's still got some beautiful variegation. This is a shark fin cactus, or the Epiphyllum angularer. I think that's how you pronounce it. This one is for $25 in a hanging basket, and that is a really good price. So this is actually one of the more uncommon type succulent plants. It almost looks like a fenestrated Epipremnum panatum Cebu blue. Really like that a lot, and that is what I also like about Pitas Planters. They've just got so many different types of plants. So like notice how we've got different Philodendron, Pothos plants like this again. This one is another lemon meringue Pothos. They just have so many different types of plants, and this is only just the first shelf. When I actually filmed this local plant nursery, I kept on telling David, and thank you so much to David for really just being there at the plant shop to allow me to film. He was super accommodating, answered a lot of my questions, and it was just really nice to get to know the owners. And what I noticed is they truly maximize on the space. And what I like about this, so this is a Peperomia obtusifolia green. Do you see that there is a sticker with like a paw, animal paw? That is actually to indicate if the plant is pet friendly. This one is for $15. Super great price actually for a Peperomia obtusifolia. $15 for a pet friendly price. So I actually learned some plants that can be pet friendly. I know Plant Foliage, you guys mentioned that you wanted to know more about pet friendly plants. Well, today as you watch Pitas Planters plant shop tour, you will see which ones are pet friendly. So if you visit the plant shop, that will actually just be super cool to see. And you can see this is another Dracaena warneckii. I do love the white edges of this particular Dracaena. Now with this Dracaena, I would recommend buying this. And let's see how much the price is. This is for $20. Not a bad price at all as well for this Dracaena. Especially look at how it looks super healthy. This is a plant that you can actually add in a space that has lower light conditions. It can tolerate being underwatered, or if you are not a person that likes to water their plants often or may not have time, that is a plant that is super forgiving. And what can I say about this beautiful Dischidia plant? Dischidia plant is actually another plant that I don't really see often at a big box store. You typically only see them at like local plant nurseries. And this is another one that's just a green variety. But with Dischidia plants, they are similar to Hoyas. They do like some bright indirect light. You would want to water them. You don't want to overwater them. So the watering is more of just like waiting till it's about 50% dry, then water them. And then we've got some more different types of pothos. So I believe these are the Epipremnum aureum global green pothos because they don't really have the yellow variegation. Now global green pothos used to be a pothos plant that used to be rare a couple years back, and now it's actually affordable. And I also love these cute plant accessories that Pitas Planter has. You can see they've got these really cute keychains. They've got some jewelry and accessories. So this and you'll notice that with this plant shop there are so many crafty things, and the owner Pita and her husband actually create the planters. So that's probably why they also mention it as Pitas Planters. I will definitely show you that. Like you can see right here, these are propagation stations that they actually made themselves. So I love the fact that there is some handmade craftsmanship happening at this plant shop right here. I am a big fan of that as well, as because I am into like doing DIY and crafty stuff. In college, I was actually an art major. I actually graduated with an advertising and graphic design major. And you can see over here they've got some more different types of products. So if you notice those planters were actually created by Pita herself. And you can see this is just super cute. Love the crochet sunflower here. I love crochet as well. I actually crochet, and it's just it's another crafted art that's not really commonly seen these days. But you can see they've got different types of planters, and look at this beautiful Philodendron heteration silver stripe for $25. I need a philodendron silver stripe. So a lot of these philodendron heteroeciums are very similar. Sometimes you would actually mistaken this as a philodendron heteroecium Rio, but this is a silver stripe. This is a nice full plant. $25 for a 6-inch planter is not bad at all, considering this plant is also still an uncommon plant. Now, with philodendron heteroecium, they're very quick growers. They're very vigorous growers, so you can actually grow this and actually take cuttings and propagate them. They root well in water, and you can create yourself a full basket like this. Now, if you grow this philodendron heteroecium silver stripe on a totem, it'll actually get larger leaves. So there's different ways of doing it. Truthfully, if you ask me, I like to grow philodendron up a totem pole because you get the natural maximized beauty from the plant. And then over here is another Pothos plant. So you can see that Pitas Planters has a lot of easy to care for plants. We haven't even seen some of the uncommon rare plants, but as you can see, this is another plant that I would recommend purchasing. And notice the health of the plant. It's super full, super lush, and it's already starting to trail. So this is one of those plants that are just ready to go, and it would be really good to style your plant. Like, notice how it's on a high shelf. You can let that trail down even more, and you can see they've got some more Epipremnum lemon meringue Pothos. Look at the quality of variegation that Pitas Planters has for lemon meringue Pothos. So I've seen these obviously from Costa Farms Trending Tropicals at like Walmart or any type of big box store, but the difference with this one, this is only $25, is notice how the variegation is very much apparent. With lemon meringue Pothos, again, you want to make sure that you're giving it a lot of bright indirect light. Actually, if you flood it with a grow light, it will really give you guys that beautiful variegation. I'm actually interested to see it grow on a totem pole to see how large the leaves could get, and if you can get it to fenestrate. And you can see here they've got some more cool anthuriums and philodendron. This is an odd looking philodendron. This is a philodendron jopii. I think that's how you pronounce it right over here. Look at the leaves and the leaf shape, and this is only for $25 in a 4-inch starter planter. So that is still a pretty good price for this philodendron. So that's the thing, plant foldies, especially for the local Dallas plant lovers. Please check out Pitas Planters. I was super impressed with just the amount of plants that they had, the diversity of plants. So you can look at some common house plants, easy to care for plants, and then now we're looking at a philodendron jopii. So this philodendron is actually not seen often. Oftentimes you have to actually order it online. I haven't really been seeing this actually offered with many of the actual local plant nurseries out in Dallas. So that's super cool that it's available and you won't have to actually buy it in the mail. Right now, Pitas Planters does not ship, so unfortunately they do not ship, but you know, this gives you reason to go shop their local plant nursery right over here in Dallas, Texas. Here is a Philodendron Pluto, and I remember seeing Philodendron Pluto the first time in person by visiting Cultivar, which is a rare plant shop in Houston, Texas, another favorite plant shop of mine. But Philodendron Pluto looks super cool. It almost looks like an Alocasia, or at least the juvenile leaves. But you can see right off the bat, it is another plant that has like that natural shine. This is a plant that I definitely want to get. I want to get a little bit more of these philodendrons. So as you can see, I do like outdoor plants, indoor plants. Philodendron is one of the indoor plants I love to take care of because they're just typically easy to grow. And what I like about the Philodendron Pluto is while it's just more of a green foliage plant, that natural shine and even the texture on the leaves is absolutely stunning. And you know, Pitas Planters has several of these. And then what else do we have right over here? So plant foldies, let me know what plants you've liked so far from this video. Leave that in the comments. You can see right here that we've got a Philodendron Syngonium. I think that's how you pronounce it, for $35. Is that $35? Yeah, $35 right over here. It looks stunning as well. It almost looks like a Philodendron Summer Glory. But again, that is what I like about Pitas Planters, is the fact that you can get some really cool looking philodendron that you may not always see at even a local plant nursery out in Dallas. This is just super exciting to see that they just have these plants. Like, I cannot tell you how excited I was just to be able to roam around and show you guys these plants. With the Philodendron Corycianum, I think that's how you pronounce it. Please forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it right. That is another beautiful philodendron I would recommend in a plant collection. And we've got some peperomia watermelon. So like peperonia plants. These are peperomia plants are super easy. Let's see how much this peperomia costs. I don't really see a price, but with peperomia watermelon, it is another easy to care for plant. I love the red stems, and then obviously the leaves look like watermelons. Easy to care for plant. It's actually a plant that can get really large as well. And then right over here, we've got a Haworthia. So with Haworthias are a succulent, but with a Haworthia, you can actually grow it in a little bit lower light conditions, which was actually surprising to me considering most succulents need a lot of light. And then now this is a Philodendron heteroecium Rio. So we saw a Philodendron heteroecium silver stripe. This is a Rio, and this is only for $18. I remember like a single one node cutting for a Rio would cost like $30 or more than that. And now that, you know, 3 to 4 years to the future, which is today, you can see that Philodendron heteroecium Rio, that's not a bad price at all either for $18. Would recommend that. Easy to care for plant. You can actually get it to grow and trail and propagate even more so. And then here's another peperomia watermelon. Like plant foldies, what do you guys think about peperomia watermelon? It's one of my favorite peperomias. It's a peperomia I would buy at Pitas Planters just because look at the quality of this again. And it's another easy to care for plant. Now, what I would say about peperomias is rather than to get their stems or leaves wet, they don't really like that. I would bottom water them versus top watering them. And that way you don't have to like worry about the stems rotting or anything of that nature. And then here is a deceivingly beautiful heart fern. This is for $12. The only thing about ferns, they don't really do well for me because ferns really need to have moist soil. And I'm not the type of plant parent that actually waters on a consistent basis. That plant will easily crisp up if you do not stay on top of the watering. And you can see they've just got more plants on these shelves. Really love the fact that they have all of these plants. So they've got a mixture of different types of pothos, scindapsus, and then you think, wow, look at this right here. And Anthurium veitchii king, love the texture of the Anthurium veitchii, and it's so cool that they have philodendrons and Anthurium. So, you know, oftentimes you don't really see Anthuriums, and this is only for $30 for a 6-inch planter. And I remember when Anthurium veitchii were super expensive about 3 to 4 years ago, and that's the thing about plants. Eventually, plants pricing does get a little bit lower. So if you find that wish list plant and it's a little bit more costly or just out of your budget, just wait a little bit. You may end up finding a plant shop like Pitas Planters that offers really cost-effective plants like this. Or you could probably get it through a cutting or through some type of plant trade. So there's many ways to save on plants. Here is his Scindapsus trubii Moonlight, another beautiful, easy to care for plant. This is another plant that used to be very expensive a couple years back. It is a little bit more of a slower growing plant, but needless to say, you can find that, you know, Scindapsus trubii Moonlight is another plant that I would recommend. And then obviously we've got another Epipremnum aureum global green pothos. And if you notice me showing you a lot of the Epipremnum aureums or pothos plant, it's just because I want to utilize this time to talk about plants that you really need to add into your plant collection. I know that a lot of our plant foldy viewers have really been learning some things, some plant tips from me, and I really appreciate that. It makes me feel valued as somebody who makes plant content. But if I haven't influenced you on some easy care plants, please buy yourself a Pothos. Buy yourself a Pothos because it is an easy to care for plant. I promise you, you will not kill it, or it's going to be a difficult plant to kill. Now check this Scindapsus out. I'm not 100% sure what this particular Scindapsus is, even though there's only like 3 to 4 leaves on this. Look at how beautiful that silver velvety leaf is. Again, with Scindapsus, they can tolerate lower light conditions. I wouldn't recommend it though. I would still provide brighter light just because it will not get leggy. And here is a Peperomia Ecuador. So Peperomia Ecuador is, this one's only for $13. Not a bad price at all. Like I would actually pick this up today, but again, I am on a plant budget. You know, when you do local plant shopping videos or big box or plant shopping videos every day, you just want to buy everything. But this is another Peperomia I definitely want to add to my collection. It's a funky looking Peperomia because it looks like an oversized Peperomia watermelon, but the leaves are not as waxy and thick as a typical Peperomia obtusifolia. Now over here, we have some more smaller plants here in 4-inch planters. Here is another Philodendron Pluto. Here is an Aglonema Snow White. Look at how beautiful that that variegation is on this Snow White, and it looks like it's pushing out another pup. This one, I believe, is for $16. So aglaonemas, you already know aglaonemas are one of my favorite plants. I would recommend that as another plant to take into your home for just an easy to care for plant, as well as this Monstera adansonii. This one is for $15. So Monstera adansonii is another plant, and I believe this is the wide form. It is another plant that you can grow in a hanging basket, but I actually would recommend Monstera adansonii as a plant to grow up a totem pole. You can get about a couple of these and actually have them trail up a totem pole. You'll get larger leaves, and then obviously this Philodendron Pluto, like, who is a fan of this beautiful philodendron? Like, I am definitely a fan, because as you can see, the juvenile leaves are a little bit more narrow, and this is only for $26. Love that as well. And then right over here, we've got a Peperomia pudiolata, I think that's how you pronounce it. Another beautiful looking peperomia. And you notice how there is a diversity with the peperomia. So you've got ones with larger leaves. This one obviously has smaller leaves. I love the texture of it though. You can see that striping over here, and then just a red stem. So I am the type of person that will appreciate a plant for the very small nuances of it, and that's just super cool to see that they have some more varieties of peperomia at Pitas Planters. So we are going to continue to look at what other plants that they have over here. Now, plant foldies, as always, if you are new to the live premiere chat, please make sure you are saying hi. We want to make sure that we're growing this channel, and if you haven't already, please make sure you are hitting the like button. I will definitely be going to Pitas Planters again to film as they do some more restocks, just because I am already a fan of their brick and mortar shop. You can see here there's so many different starter plants. So like when you think about plants, you may not want to buy a big plant. Like you might want to buy this like Hoya carnosa right here. This is a Hoya carnosa that you can just start, and I love the fact that this place also has many different types of Hoya. Apparently, from what David was telling me just over the weekend, they actually had a lot of rare and uncommon Hoya, so they were a little bit more full than when I visited, which is a good thing for them that they went and sold through a lot of plants. Love that for Pitas Planters, but I am steadily becoming a Hoya fan, and I will definitely be picking up a Hoya today from this plant shop, just because before I started really filming, I went ahead and just did a overview of what plants they have. And then over here we've got a variegated Hoya carrii. So beautiful variegated Hoya carrii. This one's for $18. Variegated Hoya carrii are kind of tough to come by, and it's cool that they have that as well. And then right over here, Ficus elastica shivriana. This is for $17, so that's still within the range of what most Ficus shivrianas are being offered. And it's just really interesting that the Ficus shivriana is available. I would say about 3 or even 2 years ago, a one leaf, one node cutting of this plant was over $100, and now it's readily available. I know that these were a little bit more available in Europe, but in the United States or in this part of the world, it was definitely a very rare type of Ficus elastica. I'm so glad that it's available. I actually have one that I bought from Green Escapes, which is an Etsy shop a couple years back, and it's actually grown fairly well. And then you can see here, Hoya carnosa Crimson Princess. This one is pet friendly as well. This is for $15. And I just learned from Pitas Planters that the majority of Hoyas are pet friendly. So for those that have, you know, a dog, a cat, or any type of pet, or even small children, that is a safe plant to grow in your household. And you can see right here, Hoya carnosa Crimson Queen. Love the white edging, the white variegation. This is another beautiful Hoya. I ended up buying a hanging basket actually at Walmart, but you can see you don't have to start with like a large hanging basket of Hoya. You can just get a starter one here. And actually a lot of Hoya heads, or, you know, fans that are all about Hoyas, will actually just do like a cutting or even just a 4-inch planter. Now with Hoyas, the more light you provide it, the better it's going to be. I have yet to see a Hoya in bloom, and you can see we've got another Hoya carnosa Crimson Queen right over here. Love the variegation. That white cream variegation is beautiful, and that is only for $14. Not a bad price at all. And notice how that the Hoya is actually pushing out some more growth. that's a good sign that the plant is healthy. And when we talk about buying plants at a big box store or even a local plant nursery, you want to inspect it for pests, number one. But then number two, you want to find signs of new growth, and that is a really good indication that the plant is healthy. And then over here, we've got a Hoya compacta here, just a regular green form for $14. So for my plant foldies, I love Hoyas. Hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. And then here's a Pilea peperomoides. This one is for $15. So this used to be like the it plant where it was super expensive a couple years back, and now you can see them all over, whether it's a big box store or a local plant nursery. And then here is another Hoya compacta that's starting to trail down, so that's super cute. But you can see we've got some small 4-inch starter planters. Here is another Hoya that I really need to add to my collection that I used to grow. This is a Hoya Lisa, and what I like about Hoya Lisa is if you sun stress it, and this is only for $16. If you sun stress it by giving it a lot of light, you'll actually get more pinks and red variegation on it. It's a beautiful plant, and it is another one that's actually fairly quick to grow. And then right over here, another pet-friendly Hoya. This is another Hoya carnosa, Crimson Princess right here. Nice variegation. It is a common Hoya, but common Hoyas are still easy to take care of. They're great performers when it comes to like growing new growth. And then right over here, we've got a Homolamena camouflage. So Homolamena camouflage, $25. That is not a bad price at all. Again, I've seen these still being sold for like $40. Love that green on green variegation. If I didn't know this was a Homolamena, I would actually assume that this is actually a Dieffenbachia. And then we've got a Calathea mosaica right over here. Again, this is another Calathea that doesn't really spark a lot of interest in me, but if you like that type of pattern and that green Calathea look, that's fine. The only thing about Calatheas is they are not an easy to care for plant. This one is one that I've seen at big box stores, but what makes Calathea a little bit more challenging is just the humidity levels that they require and also the watering. And then over here, as I pan over, you can see that they've just got more plants here. So like I've kind of just zoomed in and showed you some of the plants. You can see that they've got some of those accessories, and this cart right over here has some very healthy looking Philodendron ring of fire. So we've been seeing these pop up at big box stores. Let's take a look at the variegation of this. This one is for $22, so it's kind of in the same range. I know that Walmart was selling these for $24, so this is still a little bit more cost effective, and it's actually a lot more healthy looking. That Philodendron ring of fire, beautiful Scindapsus right over here again in a 4-inch planter. This one is for $14.50. Beautiful looking Scindapsus. So what I like about Scindapsus too is the leaves will kind of curl when it is actually thirsty, so it'll indicate when it's ready to be watered. It's another plant that is easy to take care of. And then here is a Hoya corniana. I think that's how you pronounce it. Splash, beautiful Hoya, and I believe this is for $16. Look at that splashy look on the Hoyas, and I am yet to really see, get my Hoya to bloom, but you know, this is another place where if you want to start a Hoya collection, you can go to Pitas Planters. And over here, Calathea silver band, and these are actually large Calathea silver bands. That's super awesome. And notice that Calatheas are also pet friendly, so that's super exciting. Love Calathea silver band. I did want to shout out all of my Canadian plant foldies. I wish I could ship you guys these plants. I heard that in Canada, Calathea silver band is still a little bit more of an uncommon plant. These have been popping up at big box stores, and obviously this local plant shop sells the 6-inch planters. That is a really good deal, and you can see just the space that they have over here. It is a little bit more of a smaller space, but again, small space, but it packs. It's a very impactful setup right over here. Look at all of the decorations they have, and all of these were conceptualized by Lupita and her husband David, and I just like that this particular shop just really gives you like a warm, welcoming vibe. And speaking of warm, welcoming vibe, can we say this Alocasia Quilted Dreams only for $28? Super full and lush, is just stunning. Like, look at the texture of this Alocasia. This is another Alocasia, like if I come back to Pitas Planters, I may end up just buying it. I know Alocasias are a little bit more of a challenging plant to grow, but I haven't really seen Alocasia quilted dreams. This is so stunning. Like I can't get over it. And notice how healthy the plant looks. And that's the thing about the plants. Whenever you shop at a local plant nursery like Pitas Planters, you are guaranteed, almost guaranteed, to have like a plant that's not really infested with pests, are super healthy. And then you also get to interact with the staff that are a little bit more knowledgeable about the plant care tips. So like obviously I will always show you guys big box store plant shopping. I think that's what the majority of our plant folies found on my YouTube channel, is through big box store. But I also want to highlight a lot of these local plant shops like Pitas Planters, because I feel like awareness for local plant shops like this, like you can see right here, I believe this is some type of anthurium. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And then you can even see right next to it, right next to this quilted Alocasia quilted dreams, we have a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma here. So you've seen so many different types of plants, and again, it's all about maximizing this space. Like sometimes I'll go to a big box store or even a big nursery, and sometimes it's a little bit more overwhelming. So I appreciate plant shops like this. They're a little bit more smaller in scale, but pack a big punch when it comes to just the types of plants that you can see. Like you can see now they've got more plants here. I love the styling. They've got a hanging basket of pothos, and it's several different types of sansevieria. So snake plants, you can see they've got a whale fin right over here. This is an interesting snake plant as well. And with snake plants, another plant I would recommend for a beginner, just because they can tolerate lower light conditions. You don't have to water them as often. They're forgiving, and they really don't get infested by pests. And then as you can see right underneath, we've got a bunch of Rhaphidophora tetraspermas right here. I love Rhaphidophora tetraspermas because they're pretty vigorous growers, and they really don't want to go trail down. I've noticed that they have stronger stems to where they want to crawl up. But as I pan over here, you can see the rest of the plant shop. It is in the corner of a shopping center, and I love that there's so much natural light that comes through here. And what else do we have over here? So we've got a hanging basket of string of hearts. So obviously string of hearts is another succulent type plant. It's a vigorous grower. I actually got some variegated string of hearts, and it has already pushed out a bunch of new leaves for me, and I've only had it for about a week and a half. But this is super cute. This is just a regular string of hearts, but needless to say, super healthy. It's another plant that is super fast growing. You just need to make sure that you are providing it with a lot of light in order for it to really take off, since it is more of a succulent type plant. As far as watering, you want to make sure that the water or the soil is dried out completely before you water it. You don't want to over water it, because it will definitely get root rot very quickly. And then what else do we have here? So we've got some more hanging baskets. So we've got these Discidia plants. This one is the variegated form, and look at the texture of this right here. This is the Discidia Million Hearts. Look at that hanging basket. I love the shapes of it, and I love the fact that Pitas Planters has Discidia plants. They are another type of genus of plants that I don't really see being sold often. So there's just a uniqueness about the types of plants that Pitas Planters has sourced out. And again, I would always recommend shopping local, shopping small business, supporting your small businesses. Yeah, we might be able to find a couple of plants that are a little bit more cost effective of the big box stores, but the difference between a small shop like this versus a big box store is there is a lot more care put into these plants. And that's something that if you're going to go take a plant home and actually expose it to your plant collection, you want to bring a plant that's healthy. You want to bring a plant that was curated, and you want to bring a plant that has been taken care of with very minimal chance of pests, versus buying a plant maybe at a big box store that may have the potential of pests. Again, all plants, whether you buy it at a local plant shop like Pitas Planters or a big box store, I would still recommend quarantining the plant away from your collection for about 2 to 3 weeks. That way you can make sure that there are no pests. Now, pests are still inevitable. You will always still get some type of pest. It's part of plant keeping. Like, that's one of the plants that you would say, now that's the negative side about plant keeping, is the pest control. I know that I have been discouraged from, growing plants because I've had pest infestations, but it's just a matter of making sure you stay on top of that. And then over here, we've got some cryptanthemums. I think that's how you pronounce it. These are for $10. Love these. They always remind me of more colorful sansevierias. They do need to have their soil be a little bit more moist. You don't really want to let them dry out completely. And I just recently learned that. And we've got a bunch of assorted succulent arrangements right over here. So now we've got a couple of succulents at Pitas Planters. And you can see right here, those chrysanthemums are awesome. And what else do we have here? We've got some more Hoya compactas. Look at this one right here. This is only for $15. So if you want to just start out with a Hoya compacta, just a green variety. And then we've got another Hoya here. This is a Hoya Lisa. This one is not a bad looking one as well. Look at that beautiful variegation. I would love to get a Hoya Lisa. I may end up buying some Hoya, like several Hoyas from Pitas Planters in the future. And then we have a bunch of these cactus that we see often in a big boxer with a grafted colorful top. And then Alocasia golden bone. So this is another Alocasia that I need to get. Just this is my first time seeing this in person at Pitas Planters. Look at how beautiful it is. Even though it is a green, just a green Alocasia, I love the texture of the leaves. It almost looks like foil, just a natural metallic shine it has. And, you know, with Alocasias, you can see that this one actually has a couple of babies growing out of it. So there's about 2 to 3 plants in this Alocasia. Definitely want to get the Alocasia golden bone. Now, the only thing about Alocasia, and we all know, is that they are a little bit more spider mite prone. They are spider mite magnets. You just have to stay on top of the spider mite prevention. And then over here, we've got a staghorn fern or platycerium. Really cool looking plant. I would also just recommend with your Alocasia to go back to it is just making sure that you're spraying it with neem oil. You can see we've got some type of Dieffenbachia right over here. Dieffenbachias are a little bit more challenging for me as well, just because of the lighting requirements. And then over here, we've got some beautiful philodendron. So we've got a Philodendron gloriosum. And notice how Pitas Planters also has them right next to the Philodendron micans. They're both velvety type leaves. I need to get this, and that is only for $16. So I might end up just getting a Philodendron gloriosum. Now I've seen Home Depot selling them through what is it, proven winners, but they are for $29.98. And then these ones right over here are not that big of a difference in terms of the size. And then you can see those beautiful yellow Philodendron heteroraceum lemon limes. Gotta love that as well. But let's take a closer look at this Philodendron gloriosum. Like, plant folies, let me know what you think about this particular plant. And then just the pricing for $16. That is super affordable for a Philodendron gloriosum. Now obviously the trend is the Philodendron gloriosum variegated form. That's super expensive. For now, I'll go for the green form just because it is a little bit more cost effective. And then you can see they've got some more cute looking jewelry and accessories of plants. So I just like that they have those little crafty little things right here, not just selling plants. It's always nice to see different types of accessories. And you can see right here, Philodendron micans. This is a super full one right here, and this is for $15. So that is still within the range of how much Philodendron micans are. Like, you can never get enough of Philodendron micans. It's one of my favorites. I just like the simplicity of it and also the velvety textures. It is also a vigorous grower. But as I pan out over here, it's super cute how they have everything just arranged, the different types of shelves, and just having these plants merchandised and mixed up. It actually works for this plant shop because there's just a lot for the eye to digest. And then over here again, look at this Alocasia golden bone. Like, I probably should have bought this when I was actually filming here. So this just gives me more reason to come back and check out Pitas Planters. Notice how beautiful those leaves are, how healthy they are, that natural shine. And then look at this new leaf unfurling. So again, if you're gonna buy an Alocasia golden bone, I would pick this one because it's already got some new growth, as well as this Philodendron moonlight. So what I like about Philodendron moonlight is it has more of that yellow neon color to it. I am a fan of the yellow neon colors. This one is for $20 in a 6-inch planter. So again, that is still within the range. So if you were to go to like Lowe's and buy this by Urban Jungle, it's actually $22.47. That's when you know you've gone a big box store plant shopping, when you have all of the big box stores plant pricings memorized. And then right over there, that was another Anthurium Veitchii King. And let me show you this. So these beautiful pink planters were actually handmade by Lupita and her husband. Look at this right over here. These are handmade planters with drainage holes. So that's super cool. Look at the texture of this. I love pink plants. I love pink planters. I love this. Even though this has texture, I love the simplicity of it. I could totally see putting my plants in these planters by Pitas Planters. Like, look at that. That is a super cute looking pink planter. I like that they have the delicate looking pastel colors. And I also like the fact that their planters are very simple and also very geometrical in shape. And then over here, we've got a begonia maculata here. It's another plant that used to be really rare. This is only $18. Begonia maculata, it's, you know, those angel wing begonias. They're pretty fast growers as well, and they're easy to propagate. And then check this variegated marantha out. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And they've got a surplus of this. This is only for $18 or what is it, $16 or $18. Needless to say, this is another plant that you don't really see often being sold at local plant nurseries or big box stores. I remember seeing that at Lowe's for $14, but it was a much smaller variegated marantha. So now with maranthas, they are slightly finicky. They're similar to calatheas. You want to provide bright indirect light. You want to make sure that their soil doesn't dry out completely, higher humidity levels. But this is a nice looking variegated marantha. It's starting to trail, so you can actually take cuttings and propagate from it. Really nice variegation. That is another plant I would add to my collection. And then you can see over here, we've got a beautiful Philodendron Macaulay's Finale. This one is for $14. Not a bad price at all. Again, with Philodendron Macaulay's Finale, and that is another philodendron that can get really large in no time. And then you can see they've got more of their marantha. So they've got the variegated marantha, they've got the green marantha, silver band marantha, and then they've got all of these cute looking little keychains. Like, can I please get a like for this video if you like these keychains? Like, look at this. This is super cute. And you know, that's another thing. I would actually get this little keychain and put that in my car. I know it's super cute. And they've got different types of like leaf shapes right here. This one kind of looks like an Alocasia leaf, but I'm not 100% sure. But that's such a cute looking keychain. So if you like cute things that are plant related, Pitas Planters got you right over here. Like, they've got so many cool looking plants. And then let's go over here and take a look at this. So they also support all of these cute little crafties. Look, this right over here are crocheted flowers. So these are all for $8. You can see that this is a sunflower. Definitely think that is super cute. So that's another thing. My grandmother taught me, well, actually my grandmother and my aunt taught me how to crochet. So that is another pastime that I like to do. There is a Japanese craft called amigurumi where you make little stuffed animals with crochet. I think this is super cool though that they have these flowers, and I am definitely a fan. Like, they've got lilies, they've got different type. This is a cosmos flower right over here. Now these are all for $8. So I really like that. So these can make like really good personalized gifts. And that's the thing. If you're going to go to Pitas Planters and you're looking to give somebody a nice gift, I would say buy them a really cool, easy to care for plant. Get yourself a handmade planter and get yourself some kind of like accessory or craft like this. Like, that is definitely going to make such a good gift for anybody. And again, Pitas Planters is located off of Garland Road in Dallas, Texas. Definitely check this out because you can see right here, they've got large plants like a Philodendron Jungle Boogie. Love that as well. And then we've also got some more plants coming around over here. Notice the cute little light fixtures and just the decoration that they have at Pitas Planters. It definitely gives it a very unique vibe. Love just the decorations that they have here. And again, it's one of those places that while they say that it is a small space, there's just so much to look at, and they've just really maximized the space. Like, take a look at this as I pan over here. And I'm just going to show you the plants and just let me know what you guys think in the comments. can see right over here, they've got more shelves. They've got some Raven ZZ plants. They've got some hanging baskets. David, Lupita's husband, is actually potting up some more of those Scindapsus. And you can see right over here, they've got another type of philodendron. This one, I believe, is a philodendron. Let's take a look. Is it a philodendron Calkins Gold? Yep, it is a philodendron Calkins Gold. Really nice looking philodendron here. I love the points on the leaves. And you can see that it's got that slight variegation. It's a little bit more neon. And it is another philodendron that you're going to need to grow up a totem pole or give support, because its natural habit to grow, it's going to be growing upward. And you can see right here, our classic Raven ZZ plants, super easy to take care of. And then you can see right over here, they've got a wall, and actually this gives me an idea of how to display some of my plants. Take a look at this. So they've got a lot of easy to care for plants here, a lot of plants that could be trailing. So we've got Philodendron heteroraceums, we've got Epipremnum pedatum cebu blue here, we've got Epipremnum aureum or Pothos plants right here. We've got a marble queen Pothos, and just all of these plants can be displayed that way. So that is another good way to do it. And then we've got a Pachira aquatica right over here. Some more large plants in this corner, and then they've got another tray right over here of more plants. So as you can see, just many plants to choose from. Here we've got of Dracaena warneckii and some other types of plants. We've got some aloe vera plants. So like, notice how they've also got bromeliads. So many plants. They've got a lot of selection, even just for a small space. They've really maximized the amount of plants that they have available, and I really love that. They also custom and mix their soil, so you can see that they've got sections of bins where they can actually make the soil that they pot their plants in. I think that's super cool. And then you can even see here, this is another hanging basket of Peperomia petiolata, and this was for $22. It's also pet friendly, but notice how it's trailing. It's super full. I don't really have a lot of hanging baskets in my collection, but for those that really like hanging baskets, that is a plus. And check this out. These are some semi-mature Epipremnum pinnatum albos. Love the look of that as well. Now these will get larger if you grow them up a totem pole. These are for $20. Pretty good variegation. And again, these ones, if you grow them up a totem pole, a moss pole, or a plank, the leaves will get larger, and they may even start to split and fenestrate. So definitely try that with the Epipremnum pinnatum albo. I really love this as well. It's an easy to care for plant. It's a plant that used to be quite expensive, and now it's got a reasonable price. You can even see here, you can actually take several cuttings from this and actually propagate in water. These actually propagate very easy in water. I actually have one that is actually fairly mature. It's actually fenestrated and has been growing up a totem pole that I'm going to actually chop up and see if I can get more plants out of it. And then over here, we've got a Monstera adansonii. Gotta love some Monstera adansonii. And then we've got a hanging basket of some type of Scindapsus over here. But lots of cute little plants. We've got a yucca plant here. Some more plants in that on the bottom. And I wanted to take some time to show you this section here. So these are all of the planters that Lupita and her husband David have created. Love the colors. Like, take a look at this. So all of these were actually created through molds, and these are concrete planters. I love the geometric shape. It's got like a shimmer about it. Like, I love this yellow planter right over here. And what I love about it is they make these in-house. So they have a mold, they create these, they put them with these different colors, and all of these colors are very modern, and I want to collect them. Like, I want to buy them. I definitely think that they would make a great gift. I know that they're a little bit more on the higher end price, but you got to think these are custom made planters. And when you think about plant styling or just how you display plants, these are the types of planters I would get. I love the geometric shapes. I love how minimalistic they are. I love the color. Like, look at how beautiful the light blue is. It's got even a natural shine to it, but it's still got a matte finish. I am definitely gonna buy some plants. Like I love the blue, I love the yellow, I actually love all the colors, so super fans of that. And then as you can see here, they even got more plants at the very top of the shelf. But the planters themselves, I've got to hand it to Lupita and her husband David. They've got some really cool planters. Let me know what planters that you guys like in the comment section. I really want to get some engagement from this video. I really hope that, you know, plant foliage, you guys can take the time to just let me know what planters or what you're liking about this particular plant shop. It would be really awesome to get more comments, especially for this video. It's a special video for me because I really appreciate that the owners were so kind and generous to really just give me the time to just roam around their shop, and also just the story of the shop. I mean, how many shops actually have planters like these? These are all handmade planters. They are super cute. They make great gifts. And, you know, when Lupita was just telling me about, you know, her story about just being an entrepreneur, she's originally from Guatemala. And I just love seeing just business owners. Like, it almost makes me want to like start a brick and mortar plant shop. I already know that that is not really going to be the case for me. But just seeing that, you know, they started their business back in 2019 doing just random like Dallas pop-up shops, and then during the pandemic they created a mobile plant shop to where they actually sold plants from like a truck or a bus, almost like a food truck. And now they have a brick and mortar store that they just opened up about 6 months ago, and they're doing very well. By the way, that planter right there, that is fire. Like, I love it, love it, love it. I need all of these planters. I need all of the pink planters, honestly. These would go very well with my pink plants. I could see my coleus, my aglaonema, all of it. And then look at this. Look at these lavender color plants. Like, can you imagine putting a purple plant in here, or some type of like gray plant? Like, these are stunning. I love this one right here. So I talked about certain planters not having a lot of like textures, but the way they've got this particular glaze on these planters, these textures work for me. Like, I actually normally I just like very simple, no texture like planters. Like the second planter here is really what I would gravitate to, but I love the geometric shapes. I love just the different looks of it. And again, these are made in-house. So again, if you're gonna go to visit Dallas, highly recommend plant foliage that you visit Pitas Planters. I know that some of you guys have talked about possibly visiting Dallas. Pitas Planters is another plant shop I would say definitely check out, just based on even just looking at the planters. It's Pitas Planters after all. Like, look at this. I'm just so excited. Like, I just really want to show you guys all of this. Like, this is another nice texture, and I love the fact that these are not catch pots. I was talking to David, her husband, and how they decided to actually make drainage holes for it. I love that, because sometimes you'll find a catch pot and you want to actually plant the pot directly into the pot, but there's no drainage hole, so you have to like use a drill to do it. Well, they made it easy to where they actually have a catch pot, and I love that. Look at that that shape right there. I would love for their business to grow and actually sell those planters even more so, because very nice designs, very simplistic designs, very eye-catchy. Like, I love the yellow. I just love the colors that they use, and I'm gonna go back and buy some and treat myself to a awesome planter. You know, sometimes the planters might cost a little bit more, but when you think about your plants and how you style it, the difference between enhancing a plant's appearance is really in the way you put it in whatever planter it's in. And as you can see here, I want to just pan over here. So while this place is, you know, considered to be a little bit more of a smaller space, there's just so much interest that you can get. There's going to definitely be a plant that's going to catch your interest. And, you know, that's the thing. Like, you can see right here, they've got another setup right here in the middle where they've got Maranthas, they've got a fiddle fig leaf tree here, or Ficus lyrata. We've got some aglaonema. You already know I love some aglaonema. So this is an aglaonema golden fluorite right over here. Beautiful yellow variegation. Love that red veining. And then obviously in that corner, they've got some aglaonema red siam. Here is another aglaonema golden fluorite for $25. Not a bad price at all for a 6-inch planter for an aglaonema. And these aglaonemas are super healthy. I can see that they've got an aglaonema stripes. And then another aglaonema that they have right here is that aglaonema red siam. You already know that you need to get an aglaonema red siam. If you are a plant foldie or somebody that has been watching my videos for the last couple of months, I would recommend this. This is a staple plant to add into your plant collection. Easy to care for plant. Now with aglaonemas, you just need to make sure that you're not overwatering them. And then this is an aglaonema that I'm a fan of. It's an aglaonema BJ Friedman. Now this aglaonema can get very large in size. I love that minty variegation that this has. And again, with all of these nice, beautiful foliage plants, these aglaonemas, they can tolerate lower light conditions. So that is another thing, that if you don't have the best lighting conditions, aglaonemas can tolerate it. Will they thrive? No, but they will actually still be able to tolerate and survive it. And then you can see here, Dieffenbachia reflector. So this is another Dieffenbachia I want to add. This one is for $16, not a bad price at all. But look at how beautiful that green on green variegation is for that Dieffenbachia reflector. It's a Dieffenbachia that's a little bit more velvety in the texture, which means it is a little bit more spider mite prone. So that's a double whammy for that though. You know, Dieffenbachias are just a little bit more challenging of a plant. But again, it's another plant that if you can get it the right conditions, will do very well for you. And I can't get over all of these beautiful variegated maranthas that Pitas Planters has. A very, very good price as well. I'm definitely going to come back for this variegated marantha. You know, I actually am proud that I have had a lot of restraint from purchasing a lot of the plants that they offered, because I can probably tell you that I would have bought like 10 plants that day. I'm gonna probably do some damage to my wallet the next time I come by here, but I just wanted to get a feel for it. And you can see right here, they've got a lone Dracaena Massangiana, that cane Dracaena right over there. And you can just see there's just so many beautiful plants that they have here to offer. I just want to pan over here and continue to show you what else they have here. Let's take a look. So we've got more Calatheas. We've got a Philodendron maximum. I've never seen this Philodendron before. Really cool looking plant. And then this is for $32. I'm actually curious to see what the mature leaves look like for a Philodendron maximum. Really cool looking plant, and I'm definitely gonna buy this. This is a Philodendron, Peperomia gold dust right here. Look at that. That is a variegated watermelon. Peperomia watermelon. This is the gold dust. Absolutely stunning. It looks like somebody did sprinkle some gold dust on it. I'm definitely gonna buy this today. That is one plant that I will take home from filming Pitas Planters. It'll be one of my first plants that I get, and it is one that I definitely am glad that I ran into, because this is a plant I don't often see. You would have to like buy it online, or at least for me, even though Dallas Fort Worth has so many plant shops, I've never seen a Peperomia gold dust offered at any local plant shops. Definitely never have seen that in a big box store. So that is just really cool. I am just really curious to see what other plants Pitas Planters will source out. Now, if you guys are interested in Pitas Planters, definitely follow Pitas Planters on Instagram. It's literally at Pitas Planters. Lupita actually posts a lot on the Instagram stories, so you'll get the information and just a lot of really cool updates about the shop. So definitely follow them, my plant foldies. If you have Instagram, definitely tell them in the comments that you came through GrowFold's video. You know, that's one of my biggest goals whenever I do local plant shopping videos, is to really highlight local plant nurseries, because we want to support those big businesses. Like, just knowing the story behind this business, it's super inspiring. I'm inspired. I love the craftsmanship, and also just the curated plants. Like, look at this. This is an Anthurium Queen of Hearts. This one is for $75. Not a bad price at all for a Queen of Hearts. Look at how beautiful those leaves are. I need to get into anthuriums, but I always am a little bit cautious about getting into a new genus. Like, anthuriums are a little bit more finicky of a plant for me. I know that they require a little bit more humidity, but needless to say, if I'm growing Alocasia, I might as well delve into like anthuriums. I mean, plant folies, would you agree? Let me know in the comments. And for those that have tuned into this video, thank you. Hopefully you will hit that like button if you made it this far. And over here, we've got a Philodendron Painted Lady. So now with Philodendron Painted Lady, beautiful variegation on this one. Sometimes you'll see them lose their variegation. You definitely have to give it that bright indirect light in order for it to really hold its variegation. And then over here, we've got a Hoya Black Margin. This is a nice size Hoya. Let's see how much the price is. $25. That is not a bad price at all for such a large Hoya already. So for my Hoya heads, my Hoya fans, if you are in the local planter, Dallas Fort Worth area, definitely check out Pitas Planters. Apparently they get a lot of Hoyas, different types of rare Hoyas, and I'm about to start collecting some Hoyas just based on what I've seen so far. I know that I'll be going to PlantCon 2024. I hope that Pitas Planters will also be selling at PlantCon 2024. I really think that their planters would be a hit, and it would just be something unique. Now, plant foldies, if you are going to go to PlantCon 2024, definitely let me know. I would love to meet up with y'all. It is on August 31st and September 1st, so that weekend, and that would just be really interesting to connect with everybody. But I would hope to see Pitas Planters be a vendor at PlantCon. I would love to see a lot of these local plant nurseries actually sell, because a lot of these plants that I'm seeing at Pitas Planters are plants that I would have seen as a setup at PlantCon. So it would be really interesting to see Pitas Planters there, especially with their homemade planters. And then over here, Philodendron Golden Crocodile. These ones are beautiful as well. Mine is doing extremely well. It's actually an easy to care for plant, considering I have really neglected it. It's actually done well without being watered too often. And then over here, I wanted to pull over is some more plants that we have. I love that wall that says "I'm rooting for you." That's super cute. And then we've got some more hanging baskets. And this one right here, I wanted to pull out. This is a Homalomena Pink Splash. I believe this Homalomena Pink Splash, this is actually a pretty large plant, is only for $25. It doesn't have nearly as much of that variegation, but you can see there's a little bit of splotchiness. But needless to say, beautiful texture on the leaves. I love the natural shine about it. It is absolutely stunning. And there's several plants in this Homalomena Pink Splash. I have yet to get any Homalomenas to my collection. There are some variegated Homalomenas that are a little bit more pricey, but I could go for this one right here, $25. That is a beautiful looking plant. It is another plant that is super healthy, and Pitas Planters has it. That one Monstera aurea, I'm going to save my money on it. If it's still there, I may end up just going back and buying it. But as you can see now, we're going to go look at some of their plants that are in the cabinet. So we've got another Philodendron Corsineanum, I think that's how you pronounce it. Beautiful Philodendron right here. I love the new leaf that's unfurled. Beautiful plant. And then what else do we have here? Let's see. We've got another plant. Let's take a look at this one right here. This one is an Alocasia green unicorn. Beautiful plant here, beautiful Alocasia. This one's for $45. So this is an Alocasia that is a hybrid of different types of Alocasia. Really like that a lot. And then we've got what else do we have in terms of rare plants? This is a Philodendron green Congo nuclear. Look at that variegation. Look at that variegated green Congo. And this one is for $150. And to me, that's actually not a bad price at all, considering it is actually a fairly large Philodendron green Congo nuclear. I've seen it being sold for a lot more for a smaller size. So that is a plant that I would definitely want to get in my collection someday. And then also a variegated Monstera Adansonii. I have yet to get one of these. This one is for $125. Beautiful variegation. And the thing about variegated Monstera Adansonii, their variegation is very sporadic and also somewhat unstable. So sometimes you'll get some very white leaves, and you have to be careful with that because it will not last long. You have to make sure that there is green on there. And then this is a beautiful Philodendron as well. Love the texture of the leaves. Look at that silver foliage, and then look at their stems and petioles right over there. Look at, there's just a little bit of jaggedy edging. Now this is another Philodendron that needs to grow up a totem pole for it to really maximize its leaf size. And then right over here we've got another Anthurium that is variegated. Look at this. This is for $188. Now this is actually a rare type of Anthurium. Look at that. It almost looks like an Aglonema, a narrow form Aglonema, but that's variegated. Beautiful variegation. Every single leaf has variegation, so that is a good sign that this plant will continue to push out some variegation. then over here, we've got a beautiful variegated Scindapsus. So this is another plant that I would like to get. This one is for $80. So, you know, it's still a little bit pricey for a variegated Scindapsus. The only thing about variegated Scindapsus is they're a little bit more uncommon or even rare just because they are very slow growing, but that variegation is beautiful. This is a Philodendron burley marxii. Really like this as well. Actually, no, this is a Philodendron betaphyllum. I am so sorry about that. This is another beautiful plant that I would love to add to my collection. It is another plant that is just gorgeous. I may end up considering buying it at Pitas Planters, but again, it is one of those things where you have to budget out these plants. I have a Philodendron Florida Ghost, but look at their beautiful Philodendron Florida Ghost. Look at how it's got some high variegation. It's another plant that has gone down in price, but you know, the prices are still fairly high for it in some cases. Beautiful plant, but look at how beautiful that variegation is. It's definitely worth that. So I ran into some Philodendron Florida Ghost, but this was a Philodendron Florida Beauty. Beautiful plant. It's another plant that is actually a pretty fast grower. They are a little bit harder to propagate. They take a while to root, and that's probably why they're a little bit uncommon still, just because they're not as easily mass produced. I mean, being easy to propagate. Now, obviously with tissue culture, they're a little bit easier to mass produce, but we just haven't gotten that product out there yet. But as you can see here, Pitas Planters, small space, but lots of impact on the plant. Very healthy looking plant. I still can't get over this Alocasia golden bone right here. Look at how beautiful that is, the veining. And then as I pan over here, so it's just been really exciting to show you guys my plant foldies, all of these beautiful plants at Pitas Planters. Again, definitely check this place out. I can't stress to you guys enough how beautiful this area is. Like, and this is actually the Monstera aurea that I really debated about buying. This one is for $230, but it's got some really nice variegation, and this leaf is to die for. Like, that leaf alone, half moon with the variegation, is stunning. It's actually got different types of variegation. It's almost like a tricolor. I kind of regret not buying it. I may end up buying it if I come back very soon to Pitas Planters. We'll see, but that is such a beautiful Monstera aurea right over there. It's another plant that, you know, it's one of my wish list plants. And then you can see right here, we've got a Philodendron strawberry shake, another beautiful one as well. And this one's actually fairly large. I believe this is only for $130, but that is not a bad price at all, considering Philodendron strawberry shakes are being sold for still a lot more than that. And I love the fact that it's a super healthy looking plant. It's got some very stable variegation, very balanced variegation, so if you're ever looking for that, but that is for $130 at Pitas Planters. So plant foldies, I really do want to ask you guys, what do you guys think about these plants? What do you think about Pitas Planters? Definitely follow Pitas Planters at Instagram at Pitas Planters. I did want to just point out just a couple of more plants before I end this video. As you can see right here, we've got some more Syngonium. So I didn't even notice the pink Syngoniums. Beautiful Ficus shivriana right over here. Look at that variegation, high variegation on that. We've got some peperomia watermelons. I'm so glad I ran into a variegated peperomia, or what you call peperomia gold dust. And then all of these pink Syngoniums. Love pink plants. Love all the planters that Pitas Planters offers. And right over here, I'm rooting for you. I'm definitely rooting for Pitas Planters to really grow and become an even bigger business. I definitely wish them the best of luck and success, more blessings to come, because look at this. This is just amazing. So we just started, they started their business out in 2019 and just doing random pop-up shops, and now they have their brick and mortar shop. Love that as well. I've seen these Gen Z planters actually at Callaway's nursery, but Pitas Planters actually sells these for a little bit less expensive. It's only $10 for the starter Aglaonema. Aglaonema Super White is a beautiful Aglaonema. Give it a lot of bright indirect light and it'll literally be just like a white Aglaonema. And then here is another Aglaonema I want to add to my collection. This is an Aglaonema Golden Powder for $10. Beautiful variegation. Now with these Aglaonemas, they're a little bit more red and pink variegated. You definitely have to give it a lot more bright light in order for it to hold its coloration. And then you can see they've got their own little propagation stations. Look at that. This is just a Florida green propagation station, and they've actually made one that's actually made by Pita. And then right over here we've got Aglonema Richard. So my actual name is Richard. I go by Richie, but that's interesting that I found an Aglonema called Richard. This one's for $10. I was almost tempted to buy this. It almost looks like an Aglonema Red Valentine. So I just kind of steered away from that, but that is really cool that it's called Aglonema Richard. We've seen some more propagation stations. Again, these propagation stations were handcrafted by Lupita. So those are super cool. And I love the fact that they just have cuttings there. Love the plant styling and merchandising they have here. It's definitely unique. It's definitely super cute, elegant, and I just love it. It's not, it's not what I would say intimidating. It's just like a really feel good plant shop to go to. And then even over here, look at this. This is a beautiful Aglonema for $10. So I might even do an Aglonema starter haul. Plant foldies, let me know if you guys would buy these Aglonemas. Again, I want to influence you guys to start an Aglonema collection. If you're not into Coleus plants, I haven't really talked about Coleus plants because they don't have Coleus plants here. Although I would suggest Pitas Planter to carry some Coleus plants because they can be grown indoors. They're cost effective as well. But I do want to just influence you guys on possibly getting these Aglonemas and just really checking out this local plant shop. Here we've got some more Dischidias right here. These are some variegated Dischidias. Beautiful plants. It's another plant that I need to add to my collection. They've got some Hoyas down here. This is an Hoya Crowhiniana Silver. I struggle sometimes with these plant IDs, so please forgive me. And if you guys notice, I haven't said anything about an English ivy. So like Pitas Planters doesn't have an English ivy. Like I know you guys are waiting for me to say Hydra Helix. Sorry guys, I had to throw that in there. I know that it's actually pronounced Hedera Helix for English ivy, but that's really for my like original plant foldy viewers, so bear with me. But you can see over here variegated Hoya compacta, super cute as well. And they just got some more assorted Hoyas here, and that is the reason why I will be buying some Hoyas from Pitas Planters, just because of the variety of Hoyas that they have. This is particularly the Hoya I will be taking home as well right here. I love the veining on the leaves, and this is only for $15. It's also pet friendly, even though I don't have any like furry friends or pets. It's just nice to know that they have these labeled as pet friendly. And sometimes whenever you go plant shopping, you definitely have to do your research on that. You want to make sure you're protecting your pets as well from any plants that might be a little bit toxic. But as you can see, lots of beautiful little Hoyas here. It is another pet friendly plant. I would recommend. I didn't realize that calatheas were also pet friendly. I learned that from Pitas Planters, so that's something that I'm always constantly learning. And then check this out, for $35 we've got a cordyline sherbet. I've never seen this cordyline before. I love the fact that it's more green with just subtle marine stripes over here. I was also tempted to buy that. You guys already know I love cordyline plants. So like you can see how they just have so many interesting plants. And it's all of these plants that have covered such a small surface area, but it's enough to where you can definitely find a plant if you just go to this plant shop. And obviously they will continue to get restocked and even get more full. But as you can pan out over here, I love this plant nursery. It is definitely jumped into my top 3 plant shops in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to visit. Like even these Monstera aureus, just the fact that they have 2 available is super cool. And then obviously this Dracaena warneckii, and then just all of the plants here at Pitas Planters. So obviously I will be ending this video soon. I'm definitely rooting for you, Pitas Planters. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Please shop on Pitas Planters. Check them out. I'll have the address linked below. And as always, let's make sure that we are subscribing to the channel with the notification bell on. Definitely say hello on Pitas Planters Instagram, and I definitely will visit this plant shop again. I'd love for you guys to leave comments, my plant foldies. I know I wasn't able to do a live premiere yesterday because I wanted to make sure this video was edited correctly. I'll see you on the next one. This is Richie. Bye.